Let's go to the Mile High City. Denver Nuggets hosting the Golden State Warriors. And this one was all about Denver. Man, they had it going from outside. Off the steal, Juancho Hernangomez throwing it down with two hands. Game high 27 for him. Second quarter, Nuggets up 13. Hernangomez knocking it down from deep. Man, 16 threes in the first half for Denver. Will Barton had 24 points, 10 rebounds. The 16 threes ties an NBA record for a half. Nikola Jokic, this guy had a triple-double. 17 points, 21 rebounds, 12 assists. It was all Denver, 132-110. They tied an NBA record with 24 threes in this ball game. I mean, they scored 79 at the half, Dylan. Sometimes everything is clicking from the outside. That was the case for Denver in this one.
Unbelievable. 24 of 40 from beyond the arc. Jamal Murray, he was hitting everybody with arrows today as he was just awesome from beyond the arc. And it was the complete opposite. And this is what it's going to take to blow out the Warriors. I mean, you might beat the Warriors, but you're not going to blow them out pretty typically. The only way it happens if the game script includes a team like the Nuggets being the hottest they've ever been from beyond the arc, which is what today's game featured, and the Warriors being extremely cold from beyond the arc. Just 8 of 32 were the defending Western Conference champs. Steph Curry, 1 of 11 from beyond the arc. They just didn't have it. And I told you this earlier. I think both the Golden State Warriors and the Oklahoma City Thunder, after the emotional toll that Saturday night's game took on both of these two teams, I think they both came out flat today. They both got their ass kicked. They both lost by more than 20 points. And when you look at that, it's not a coincidence that it's coming after the game that both those teams circled the most on their calendar. Those next games were going to be a little tricky, and certainly it was that way for the Warriors in this one. Jokic continues to impress. I mean, this is a big triple-double, too. Now he's got 2 under his belt, and this one's 17, over 20 rebounds.
And 12 assists.
Yeah. So he really fuels things for them. And when they got the outside shot going and they can work in and out and run that offense through Nikola Jokic, this is a great sign, something to really build off for this Denver Nuggets team, and one where the Warriors, a game they just didn't have it.
Yeah, they were finishing up a road trip, probably ready to get home.
Short-handed,
25 at the break.
Get out of the gates.
No Sean Livingston, no David West. We know there was no Klay Thompson in this game, so they were real short-handed. Meanwhile, you look at Denver, they didn't have Emmanuel Mudiay, they didn't have Wilson Chandler, they didn't have Kenneth Faried, and they still put up, all the points that they scored in this game, 132 without their key guys. Yeah. How surprising is that?
Very surprising. And you know what's funny? The shots just happen to be falling for them, but you look at the way the game unfolded, it's not a coincidence that they happen to rely more on the three, and they wind up shooting, what was it? They shot
from
40 threes. You're going to lean on the outside shot a little bit more when you're without Kenneth Faried, who doesn't shoot any threes. Emmanuel Mudiay is a good guard, but he doesn't really shoot threes too much. So with the guys they had to play to those strengths, and those strengths were maybe jacking up a couple more threes than they're used to when the Manimal and when Mudiay and Wilson Chandler you can knock down the three a little bit, but for the most part, the guys they had were guys that like to shoot, and they kind of played in through Jokic and out to the rest of the guys. The shots were going down. They kept shooting outside shots, and when you make 24 out of 40, that's going to be something that's even good enough to beat the Warriors.